Evening, Junkies. How's everyone doing this evening? We are here to talk about food. This is all about food. This is the Taste of Six Flags episode. Joining me today, in no particular order, we have Kim, Dr. Six himself, Rich, Jamie, and Sarah, the one that nobody can seem to find in the park. Not a single soul found Sarah. Um, I can already tell it's going to be one of those shows because we're already looking to free the quesadillas. So, free the quesadillas. We have quesadillas right now, and we also have we got two quesadillas right now. So, Brent, I feel your pain. It was sad seeing that food truck, and there was no quesadillas coming out of it. So, what I'm going to do here, we're going to kind of break this festival down by the types of food. So I'm going to actually pop my screen on here. We should hopefully still see it. It worked before we went live. So I do hear feedback coming from someone. So I'll go ahead and pull this out and let me just hide this. All right. So this is as I said, the Taste of Six Flags Foods episode. So we're just going to kind of jump in here, and we're all going to just kind of jump in. Does anybody want to talk about the dates and the cost? Don't forget, you guys are all muted yourself, so when you go speak, unmute.
I think the cost was okay, but on Mother's Day, you actually got another 3 punches. Mothers were, if anybody was paying attention to that.
I had to work for mine, and then I saw another member actually early in the day received 2 punch cards, which was probably a very serious error. But I did have to work to get my extra punch card for having my dining pass after getting the Mother's Day card. But it was a really nice perk, and it was very sweet.
So before let's go on to the next. Let's take a look at all the offerings, and we will break these down kind of by, I guess, by park or region. I'm not sure how you classify this. Since these are food from various flags parks. But before we start really jumping in these, what are your thoughts, everyone? Did you have something that you tried that you thought was awesome? Or something that just was not good at all?
I didn't like the festival from the Jamaican street food. It was too thick and too doughy.
Okay.
I love the green beans.
Second that. I would second the dough sticks from the food truck. I don't know the purpose. They were kind of dense and greasy and dry at the same time, which I didn't think would be possible.
Hi, Vita. Thanks for joining.
But the jerk chicken was amazing. That was our favorite.
Did you put the jerk sauce on the festival?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mouth.
That really made mine dry.
Oh, so good though.
We tried the green beans, which I liked. The waffle we got with chocolate. It was a lot of chocolate. Both kids were covered in it. It was really pasty chocolate. And then the other, I think it was the cookie dough that was with the waffles. It didn't really taste like cookie dough, if that's what it was supposed to be. I can't remember if that's what it was supposed to be.
Now, were they still out of strawberries on Sunday? Because when we went to get it on Sunday, they were out of the strawberries already on Saturday.
On Sunday, she actually said, do you want one of each? Do you want one chocolate and one strawberry? But Rebecca just wanted chocolate. So, of course, they ended up with it all over.
All right. Let's talk. We'll just go down the menu here. Let's talk about Texas. So they offered the corn in a cup, the fried pickle spears, brisket nachos, the brisket sandwich, and Bub's Smokehouse favorite.
I tried the corn in a cup. I had it without mayo. It was delicious. I enjoyed it. It needed just a little more seasoning. Really enjoyed it. And I tried the Bub Smokehouse fave, which was really funny to me to have a bratwurst in Texas and not in Midwest.
Right. I would have thought more came from our park. I actually had the brisket nachos. That's the photo on the left there. That looks like it's just a pile of sour cream and cheese. There is brisket under there. There are chips under there. It wasn't my favorite. I had brisket nachos in other places, especially actually down in Texas, not at a Six Flags park, but just being in Texas since they're known for their barbecue. The issue I had with it was the slices of brisket were too thick. Now, on the brisket sandwich, I think it would have been totally the way it was sliced. It was perfect for a brisket, but I would have thought with nachos, maybe it would have been some chopped brisket or a little less thick, because it was basically you had your fork and you had a big slab of brisket. And I think there should have been some. I'm a fan of barbecue sauce. So I think if we somehow could have mixed barbecue sauce into this, I would have probably given it a little bit of a higher rating. But and it was all right. Would I get it again? No, absolutely not.
It seems strange that there wasn't some barbecue sauce in it as I sit here looking at a really good barbecue restaurant that has amazing brisket nachos in the parking lot where I am. A little bit of, I think it dries out if it doesn't have the sauce. Oh, corn in the cup it was so good. It is Mexican street corn. I saw Brittany had a comment as well. It was really good.
Yeah, I didn't have
I
it, but
love
I had.
mayonnaise, but I'm afraid to put mayonnaise in my corn, so I have yet to try it, but
Oh, I
I
just
think
asked
I'm
for it
going to
without.
dig in.
I don't tend to do I'm one thing that I feel, I just have a respect for mayo in a lot of ways and its needs. So I tend to not try it at anywhere that it's outside. So I didn't. But I enjoyed the corn. I think they put some seasoning and some Parmesan on it. It was good.
Parmesan would be a really good, nice touch.
Yeah, it was really tasty. I enjoyed it, and it was nice and hot, like really hot. So it didn't like, I know corn can cool down fast, but this was piping hot when I got it.
Well, I went
Did
on
anyone
Sunday
try
just to try that new restaurant that's down in the Picnic Grove. That's what
anyone try the
I was
fried
dreaming of
pickles?
that all week.
I did. I actually had the fried pickle spears. You got a couple of them. There were 3. I had one. Laura had one, and then we passed one off to Jenny, who's a member of our group, who just happened to be standing by. She's like, "Are those good?" And we're like, "Here, try one." What I want to sidetrack this for just 1 second. For anyone submitting comments into us, if we cannot see your username, we're not going to be able to acknowledge your comment because we don't know who we're talking to. So if you want to register your name so it appears, head to StreamYard.com/Facebook. It's just going to ask you if you're going to allow Facebook to use your name and profile picture. Just say yes. That way we know who is actually commenting, who is talking to us. Meant to say that right when we first started. Brent's asking, it says deep fried. They are fried. There's definitely a fried coating on it. It's a little bit different than getting the deep fried like pickle like chips that most places have. Like if you were to go into like a Buffalo Wild Wings and got the deep fried pickles, it's definitely fried. It's just a lighter coating that's on them. But I would definitely get those again. Anyone try the brisket sandwich? Anyone here, anyone watching, in the comments below, if you did have the brisket sandwich, definitely let us know what your thoughts were on it. Anything else you guys want to talk about Texas here before we move on to our next location is to the Six Flags parks? All right, let's see. If my slide will move to the next screen, there we go. So now we move on to the Jamaican street food, the food truck. So the jerk chicken and the festival. I didn't either, so I'll let you guys discuss this one.
Like I said, the fried dough sticks, maybe I don't understand them, and I don't understand them. That's fine. Like maybe they were supposed to dip into something or like soak up sauce, but again, dense, dry, and greasy. But I could just not understand them.
I would love them with some ice cream.
Yeah. I love the chicken. The chicken this was one that was a 4-credit item. So it's one of the pricier items, but my daughter and I had one serving. The wind kind of blew away our serving. Like there were 2 thin chicken strips worth of chicken in there. We had it with the sauce. It's like a mango salsa type, or mango habanero, profile. And so then we came back and we each got our own after the wind busted one of ours up, but it was delicious. And I think it would taste good without the sauce too. If you don't like, the sauce is very, very spicy. I happen to really like very, very spicy things. It made my nose feel a little hot in my mask after I was done eating it, but that's why we like spicy things.
All right, let's move on. This one was easy. We only had two foods on here. So now let's take it out to the East Coast with the fried green beans, the grinders, the Philly cheesesteak. Again, I did not partake
love the
in
green beans.
any of these.
Every time I went to get fried green beans, they didn't have any. They were just waiting for it, and they didn't know when they would be up there. So I didn't get to try them, but I really think they would taste good in ranch, and I feel like I would need a sauce with them.
Maybe a little salt too. Of course, I have that in my backpack, so I could have always just added it.
Jane, you got every condiment known to man in your pack.
She may not have soy sauce, or do you
No,
actually?
I don't.
Do you
Now
have
I'm
like
gonna add
the little keychain sriracha?
it.
I actually didn't try anything from this booth. I nacho cheese on a Philly cheesesteak just doesn't seem very authentic.
Let's see. I'd see there is a fan out here that likes the Philly. Jenny wants it permanently added to the lineup.
And that could be something they could add at Big Lou's, right?
Maybe
they probably could.
I feel like they already have the grinder there at Big Lou's. Don't they already have like a Italian sausage? Italian sausage.
There
at Big
is.
Lou's?
I know. Yes, but I don't know if you can get Well, I know you can get like hot peppers, but I don't know if they have like this sort of mix of peppers that's on the one they're serving here. Here's an interesting take for the green beans: cilantro avocado sauce.
So maybe I'll just steal some cilantro lime sauce at least from Chick-fil-A and bring that in my sauce bag. I'll start one and try it on the green beans.
So at least we do have one thumbs up on the grinder. It's kind of tough viewing these when we haven't fully tried them.
I wonder if you wanted some mustard, if you bought the grinder and just went over to Texas and asked for some of their mustard if they would share.
Possibly. I mean, I don't see why not.
Now we're going to come, our next one will be a secret menu.
It's not like you're Chicago asking for ketchup for a hot dog, where a lot of places will not give you the ketchup. They will not put it on there. Some won't even give you a ketchup packet.
Oh
In
no,
Chicago,
they'll tell you to get out.
Yeah, they will.
They won't give you a hot dog.
I mean, imagine trying to go down to the Wiener Circle and tell them to put ketchup on a hot dog. That's not going to work out well.
They'll give you a chocolate shake.
Yeah, they will. All right, let's keep moving right along here. I don't even know which order these are in, so it's kind of like a mystery to me when these pop up. So, out to California with the roasted corn, the loaded mini corn dogs, and the not yo loaded fries.
These seemed the least California of any of the items. I was expecting something with avocado on it. Something very California, but I had the mini corn purses for condiment packets. Maybe I had the mini corn dogs; they were fine. And then we had the corn. You could have it in Parmesan, or you could have it in hot Cheetos. We had it in Parmesan. It was delicious. It was corn. I don't think the loaded fries were any different as far as toppings than the corn dogs. They're fine.
I think I'll be eating a lot of corn this weekend.
Now, Sarah, did you say at one point you had to take? Were you the one saying that you had to take your mini corn dogs across the way to get your toppings?
Yeah, it was a little bizarre. So she gives me they must have run out of cheese and sour cream, so she hands me my cup of corn dogs, and she sent me to the food truck for toppings, which was a little awkward. I was really confused, but they were good. Yeah. Less mess. I would agree, Brittany. Less mess than the chili cheese dogs at the park. And I generally don't like chili cheese anything. I didn't mind these. They were okay. We have mini corn dogs. We have chili. We have cheese. We have jalapenos. They could keep this.
The Midwest. And like I said, we were talking about this right before we went on. I don't know how this is any different than some of our food court, our mac and cheese bacon hot dog that's in the food court at the new hot dog place, and the Italian sandwich from Big Lou's. So, if
So
it's
are all
different,
the
somebody
parks
changed
doing
my
this
mind.
taste of food?
Not at this time. I'm sure others have done it, but I think we're the only ones right now.
So that maybe like if when they get it, they would be getting our food then?
Maybe.
Would you pick
But
something else to send as a representation of our park?
I mean, this looks fine. We haven't really had the mac and cheese bacon hot dog for that long.
No.
I guess what Bob's saying is if you have a dining pass, don't use your credits on these items at the food festival. Just go use them in the park with your credits.
Yeah, my last experience with that mac and cheese bacon hot dog was at the Holiday in the Park, and it was free. The bit into the hot dog, and the hot dog was not cooked. It was a cold hot dog.
Well, that's
And
how
there's
we
no
eat
way
it in
that thing.
Wisconsin.
You guys just do weird things in Wisconsin. I mean, you got the Packers.
You guys
Sorry,
can
Janet.
have Rogers if you want.
He doesn't even want to play for you guys. You guys are offering to make him the highest paid quarterback in the NFL, and
Denver's
He's
gonna
not-
have him. He's more than welcome to go to Denver.
Demon Nachos.
Yeah,
are
our nachos are amazing.
Yeah, they could do like a mini version of that.
Yeah, definitely. International. Tostada and poutine fries.
I didn't get over there yet. I'm disturbed that poutine fries don't have cheese curds on them. That means they're not poutine. They're just fries with gravy.
And I've seen a couple people eating them. They didn't look very tempting.
Well, poutine never looks tempting, so there's that. But the best part of the poutine is the cheese curd. And not fried cheese curd. The squeaky cheese curd that goes on there.
And that would be an easy ad for Illinois, right?
Cheese curds?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got cheese curds everywhere. Yeah, I don't get over and try. On the beer thing, I did a PSA in the group. If you're getting the bonus card, PSA, if you're getting beer or samples of beer, you cannot use the bonus card for that.
But
So
there was
sure
some people that they were punching it. It was they were having no problem punching the bonus
all
card.
right. Well, they're not supposed to.
Yeah.
I think it has something to do with. I don't think you're allowed to use like a coupon. I don't know. Something to do with whatever.
So don't get upset if they don't accept your 3 punch card.
Yeah,
for
they're
the
not
beer.
supposed to. So plan ahead and use those bonus cards for food, because now that I've opened my big mouth, they probably will definitely not accept it.
Yeah, it says as a rule you're not supposed to use a 3 punch card, but they did accept it. But it was something new.
Did any of us have the tostada?
Not yet. I do like that the tostada is vegetarian. It would be nice to have more vegetarian options at our park. So that would be very cool.
Well, it would be nice if our park opened up some of the healthier food stands.
Go Fresh was open. We picked up some sandwiches. Go Fresh in Orleans was
Saturday
open.
they were not.
Sunday they were. They weren't when we first came in, but when we went through our second run through the park, it was there. It was open.
Has Go Fresh been open yet in the food court?
No,
I have not seen it open yet at all.
I'm still mourning the loss of my turkey burger.
Well, we got really good fried chicken though back now when there's no picnics going on.
Yeah.
And they have a brisket sandwich too that I heard is to die for.
Yes.
Sarah, you can always go get a turkey leg. I'm sure you could probably score a bun from Thrill Burger and just kind of make.
It's not the same. They're turkey burgers, like they were seasoned right. They came on the pretzel bun. You got the
maybe you were the only one ordering them.
Oh, but they knew. I walked up there and they're like turkey burger with a salad, and they knew. Like, oh, I'm gonna miss it. Maybe I was, but they're delicious.
Desserts. Who doesn't love a good dessert?
Uh-oh.
No, thank you.
I had the fried dough. I think we had it 3 times.
It's funny because, like, when I went to the parks on the East Coast, like the line, like at Six Flags New England, I think that was the one where the line for the fried dough was crazy the whole time I was there. I did not try it, but I want to, because if it's the same thing, I want to know what the big fuss was at Six Flags New England. I don't remember if Darien Lake had a big line for it, but I know Six Flags New England, it was crazy long. I didn't try either of the desserts.
I think that my group had the waffles with the chocolate on it.
My concern is that they weren't making these kind of things. Seem like you need to make them to order. And then I get why they can't, but then if they sit in those warmers, don't they dry out?
Yeah, I think the first batch I had was a little kind of like the festival. I was kind of like, what is the difference? But the second batch I think Zoe got was way better, which of course because it was hot and fresh.
Mm-hmm. I just saw so many like stacks of waffles in a warmer. I was like, oh, I don't even think that's gonna be that good.
Yeah, I had the fried dough, and they were very dry. It was really hard to actually get the fork into the dough to lift it up. So I started eating them like they were munchkins from Dunkin' Donuts. And that was after having to come back to the stand because the first time we went up to the stand, they were out. And so then I was going to go with the waffle, and amazing, they were out of the waffle as well.
When we went back for the waffle, they were when Rebecca got hers, she said, he's like, we don't have any, and I can't get anybody. And then I was kind of keeping an eye out. So she had warm ones. She liked it, but like I said, it had a lot of chocolate. Like the chocolate they just kind of had floating in water over there when they were scooping it onto there. So it was like really pasty.
Strawberries. I mean, maybe I would love to try it with strawberries. Which park is this one supposed to be from?
It looks like the waffle looks like it, according to the logo on here, it says Magic Mountain.
Oh.
And then the fried dough's from New England.
Okay, so yeah, I'm right. Yeah, those lines in New England for the fried dough were crazy. We didn't have a long visit, but it is very popular there. The
No,
Belgian.
Brent, they are not from the Belgian park.
Okay, so legit there used to be a Belgian park. There was Belgium, Madrid. There were international parks. No longer, but there was a park in Belgium at one point. Maybe they had waffles. I don't know. It was like even before Premier Parks.
All right, let's hear. Again, we already said that you cannot use your bonus punch card coupon on those. If you were lucky enough, your mileage may vary. So if you go back to the park, you may not be able to use those bonus cards.
And really no big deal. Just like use the bonus cards where on your food and just save your other punches for your beer. Or, Brent probably needs a full card for when he tries them all anyway.
Knowing Brent, he'll probably try to get his head underneath the spouts and just ask them to pour directly into his mouth. I mean, we did have that discussion. We thought about it. There was nobody standing there like, well, would it be wrong? Yeah, probably. Would it be worth it? Maybe. What you're looking at in the picture over on the right, that is the milk. It is a stout beer. I'm more of a lighter beer fan, more of the pilsners. I'm also a fan of the ales, but since this was the strongest alcohol by volume beer coming in at 11%, I had to give it a shot. It was really good. Laura took one sip of it and she's like, that's disgusting. But Laura's not a beer drinker either. So I enjoyed it. Would I get the full cup? Maybe. But I'd be more to just go with the samples and try the other beer from the other breweries.
That's a pretty generous pour for $2, really, right? Is it two?
It is.
Or one? Is it one? One credit for, or two?
Yeah. One credit for the sample.
Yeah. I'm impressed. I was expecting something smaller.
I thought it was gonna be like a little shot glass. Let's put that.
Maybe
that's a good pour.
Condiment cup.
Yes. Yeah. The paper one that you're trying to drink it before it all soaks through.
The little cup they give you at the frozen yogurt place. Oh, the apple.
Did anyone? You didn't try the apple. I know it looks like Jenny tried the apple. She said it was amazing.
I might give that
and
one
as
a
you're
try.
watching this, definitely leave your comments below in terms of what you thought on any of these foods as we're going through them. Especially if watching this back later, definitely leave in the comments and we'll kind of come back and kind of see what everyone's thoughts are. It'd be fun if we could figure out how to do like a poll on here and just be able to poll people on the page and have it up and kind of get a feel for, what was your favorite from Texas? What was your favorite from the East Coast?
Maybe we'll have to do brackets. Maybe we'll do like a whole bracket with voting. It could be kind of
the best of the taste of Six Flags.
Yeah. Huh. Challenge might be accepted. I think that could be really fun.
We have to think though, I wait for the next 2 weeks to give everyone more of a chance to try things.
I'll wait 1 week. Yeah,
So,
I get that we have to give everyone a chance.
Yeah, we can wait, get near the end of it, or wait till the final week, and then throw a poll up there. And Jenny also said that if you're not a fan, you might not like it.
Is it like the chili that's on all like candy? Is that what that is?
I don't know. I didn't even see it. Did any of you guys even? I didn't. I was hoping that somebody would have posted a picture on the page, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't see one. Now I have to throw. I know that
all right.
We're looking at here, but
Jenny says
Brent,
it's chili lime.
Brent brought up a great Midwest item. We need some deep dish pizza in there.
Either that or some. I don't know how St. Louis doesn't have toasted ravioli. That's yeah. Imagine how long we'd have to wait at the food court for deep dish pizza.
Oh.
Be like, okay, it'll be 40 minutes. We just put it in the oven.
Yeah, I'm assuming as this progresses. I mean, it was the first weekend of the fest, so
and I think a lot of
what to expect.
I think a lot of times when they were saying they were out, they weren't necessarily out for the day. I think they were out at the moment, or somebody, it was amazing seeing, how those stands were being attended to as far as making sure things were at the right temperature and fresh. And so they were pulling things that were past being fresh, and then they'd have to wait for something else to come in. But I think they just didn't necessarily always communicate that the people at the stands didn't know when something was coming back, and they didn't really communicate effectively that it was out for now. They were just like, I don't have any. But I mean, I'm assuming because these are all at other Six Flags parks, they're just going to get it from the same supplier. So it's not like it's hard to find.
Brent waiting on his burger. The saga of Brent continues. His order still has not came up for that burger that he ordered back in April. Maybe this week. I actually heard when you go to celebrate your birthday, you'll actually get the burger. So it's going to be like a bonus that they'll add on, and they'll give you your burger for your birthday.
Nice.
Well, instead of eating at Capone's, if you go back to the burger place, you might get your burger though.
Speaking of Capone's, I got to give them a round of applause for Saturday. They were cranking the food out. I mean, they actually were invaded by the Junkies. When I walk in, Rich, Kim, Jamie, they're already in there. I show up in line. I look behind me. Brent's in line. So we kind of slammed them, but they were cranking the food out very quickly.
Very quickly. They're one of the best in the park at
we
getting
went
food
there
out.
last. Yeah. And I think that's another example of it's a limited menu, and they know it's a limited menu, and so they just keep preparing the food for their limited menu rather than wait till it runs out, or they're still making the plate to order, but they also have all of their ingredients right there ready to go. And I've been told that the garlic knots are superior at Capone's.
Very good.
When compared to Primo's.
Good.
Yes.
A lot better than what we had last year for the garlic.
Agree.
And the salad is generous. that comes. I tend to do the meatballs. I love the meatball hero with the salad, and the salad is like a meal by itself.
And what I've
Ooh,
seen of the
entertainment.
salad this year, they haven't had any frozen salad or any like old salad so far. It's been pretty fresh.
Yes, it's all been very. I am so picky. I will pull out. I mean, I'll pull out my like browned lettuce, which I know happens. Just it happens so quickly if there's any kind of moisture on it. But it has been so fresh. Like I've gotten a little crunch when I crunch through it. So bravo,
The only thing I
um,
wish Six Flags would do is add French dressing for salads in the park instead of just having ranch or Caesar.
Caesar. Be nice to have Italian something. Be nice to have a couple more because Caesar and ranch are so close.
Yep.
Entertainment.
Very good band. We watched about 4 or 5 different sets from this band. They were very good.
It was really fun to have the two stages set up. So if you haven't been there, been in to see this yet, the whole vibe, how they've transformed Hometown Square, is just amazing. It's like you walk in and you know it's a special festival. So they have a stage set up by the train station and they have a stage set up by Grand Music Hall. So they had two different bands going. And when one would finish a set, the other one would jump right in. They also had everything, all of their normal food stands, they had covered in nice branded Taste of Six Flags, like a wrap. They'd wrapped it in Taste of Six Flags, so it looked gorgeous. They had red and white gingham picnic and chef vibe. They had some street performers out with like a cooking theme. It was just so well done, and they just had the stands around Hometown Square, so it felt intimate at the same time, where you can just see everything. And then they had Adirondack chairs set up and picnic tables set up, and it was just a really nice way to transform Hometown Square. And these bands were great, and it's so nice to see and hear live music.
And we had Bugs and Sylvester there too.
Yes, I got a selfie
Yes,
with
we
Bugs.
Yeah,
we had
it
a
was.
short
I mean,
Bugs and we had a tall Bugs. Bugs got shorter as the day went on.
take a look on our page in our group of just some of the decor. It was just gorgeous. A lot of great photo spots for the event. It was very special. Like the last food festival I'd been at in the park was probably 2018 Fall Festival. Is that the last time we've had one?
Probably.
And that one was spread out. Like you had to get some of your food in Yukon and some of your food in Southwest Territory. It was nice to have everything in one place. It was nice to have it right at the front of the park and just like feel like you were at an event rather than there's stands. Where's this other stand? And trying to find things. It was a really nice vibe.
Yeah, stop
It's
the share because
And I really
I
think
don't have any.
the bands helped keep it from. It kept people in the area more, so people got
Yeah.
to interact a little bit.
Yeah, it felt so special, and it felt like it felt as close. It did feel like almost like the Taste of Chicago in some ways, where you're just walking around, you get it's just a miniature miniature Taste of Chicago where there's bands playing. It was very nice.
And it's nice with triple play right there, hometown fun machine, and even got the Wizard pretty close. I mean, so you got rides for the kids while you're trying to eat some of the food and everything, so the kids can still go on a couple rides while you're doing it.
And they managed to just put the seating, add just enough seating that there was always somewhere to be. They had some standing tables in the middle, and it never felt crowded. But there were plenty of people in the area, which was really it was really nice how it was put together. Then having the benches set up on either side of by each stage was also nice. There were so many different places where families could be, and we've all been so separated for the past year and a half. It's nice to be with people, but also not feel like you're crammed in with people.
Yeah,
So
just like Brittany
whoever
said,
played,
Yeah, the only downfall with the festival there is with the guest membership services right there with the line. Sometimes it just kind of draws away from it a little bit. So,
yeah,
maybe at least
they
you
were doing a
had
decent
music.
job.
but they were getting people through a lot quicker this weekend through guest services. So that
Yeah.
I mean, they're staffing a little bit better, and they had new stuff this week, and it helps out a lot. It's getting much better every weekend so far. It's gotten so much better. It improves by 100% every weekend. It's amazing how everything is coming together again in the park.
Do we
We
have
need
any?
more fest.
We need more. We love these. They're so much fun. I've already dropped more money than I'd like to on it, but it's fun. Um,
It's fun. It's different.
it is.
It helps to be different. It's more of a family atmosphere again now. It feels more family oriented with that going on in the park than just a throw park.
Yeah. Love it. Love it. If you haven't been there yet, you should go. Yeah. Or I was just noticing, Jenny, all the different stages. Like I was waiting for my kids to get off of Raging Bull, and I was like, oh my goodness, I forgot that there's a stage right here in the Mission, and there are stages all over the park. It is nice. I liked having it in one place just because it was easier to sample and do like a small plates where it is if it was all over the park, you kind of have to hit them all and find a place. So there are pros and cons, but even if some were themed differently and in different parts of the park, that could be fun too.
I mean, Southwest Territory has such a big area where they could put on a big festival over there too. I mean,
Mhm.
it's got a lot of room in the area.
Yep.
Especially without our Western show going on out there right now with the little sheriff's office. We got a lot of room in that little spot now.
Yeah. And the stage in behind Cubasco, that whole Mission area. I would think the nice touch of the improvement in even the punch card. There were so many just really nice touches to have. It felt like more of a universal pass or what I've seen at SeaWorld where you get a lanyard and your punch cards on your lanyard. So at the very end, you've got a souvenir lanyard. You can have a Taste of Six Flags lanyard moving forward with your pass. That was kind of fun. The bonus punches, that's fun. The extra bonus punch for mothers was great. Having that going on Sunday. Even just the look, that really clean look of the white brick that's on the stands and all the Taste of Six Flags photo shoot areas, having the characters out, having the bands. Bravo. It was
And we also got to
great.
give a shout out to the painters too that have painted some of the buildings in Hometown Square there. They're working hard at getting it painted up before the festival, and they'll be painting after.
Yeah.
And
Hometown
we
Square
know
is looking amazing.
it's really coming together.
We just need the
Bob, you
train.
have any shout outs? I know you had
Do I have
some.
any shout outs?
Yeah.
I actually do. To protect the innocent, I'm not going to use a name here. Okay, but I did have the opportunity to have a great discussion with the manager who's in charge of food and beverage for the park. Great conversation. He's a great guy. He really cares about some of our input on here. So a lot of times stuff we're talking about, it's not falling on deaf ears. It is definitely our voices are being heard. But yeah, he's a great guy. Um, and he was actually looking forward to our review on this.
And I saw him just hands on working all weekend just for all those details. And shout out to his staff because I did not encounter any host or hostess working any of those stands that wasn't as friendly and as welcoming as can be. Like that was the A team, even when they didn't have something. So I know I said they maybe just didn't know. They were so kind. They're like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I don't have that right now." Or can I get you something else? And then they just smiles and I felt their hospitality just being in Hometown Square. So bravo to that crew as well.
Anybody else have any other shout outs? Want to give
Nicest
anybody?
entertainment crew, right?
Like you said, entertainment and just all the hard work they put into the decoration and stringing the lights up in like the cross section of the middle there. It's just all a really nice feel.
Yeah, you if you have not been in yet, if you're with us and you have not been in, it is worth trying to get a chance to go in. We may see that reservations. We expect that we will see more reservations. Starting this weekend. We're not confirmed, but just based on what we know is happening in the state of Illinois. So if you don't have a reservation yet, don't worry. Check again on Friday. If you haven't been in, go in. Like seriously, go in. It's worth it. Just get a couple small plates. Just hang, even if you don't get any food, hang in the area just for the vibe. I think we're supposed to have another a nice weekend. But get in for this because it is unlike anything we've had at our park for a while. It's really, really nice. And also kudos to the entertainment folks who were on stilts for almost 2 entire days. That takes dedication.
Even just going and listening to the bands, just to sit there all day and listen to the bands, it was so nice to have the live music and seeing Rich dance. If you go, you might get to see Rich dance.
Yeah, and keep in mind if you are planning on going, it's this weekend and the following weekend. So there's only 2 weekends left, and then hopefully we get some other type of fest somewhere down the road.
Or I'm wondering, I'm going to wonder out loud. I didn't plan this. So I'm thinking back to the information that came out at ACE in winter of 2020, where they talked about the use, what our evenings would look like. And it was like a reimagining of Hometown Square being like an outdoor family place with like what did they say? It was like you could play bags, it was just like a family gathering area. So I'm wondering if some of what's set up is what was initially planned back in 2020 when we thought we were going to have a season.
Yeah. Thoughts? Anybody, watching again, or if you're watching the playback, definitely leave your thoughts, in the comments on what type of events that you'd like to go on in the park, or any suggestions on maybe food items that you'd like to see brought into the park if they did another festival. We want your thoughts.
Brent said food truck festival. I concur.
Yeah, I'd be on board for that. We need to use our food truck.
Yeah, would we be
quesadillas.
cheating on our food truck?
But they could bring other food trucks, right? Just you're saying like a whole bunch of different food trucks in one area, like 5 or 6.
Well, or else they can even spread them out though too. Like if they go to a different, like if you go in a couple different areas, then it's kind of scattered out.
I like Brittany's thinking deep fried trucks. You just can't go wrong with things deep fried. Deep fried Oreos, deep fried Twinkies. It's so not healthy for you, but it is delicious.
You'll get all my money with our local state fair has deep fried macaroni and cheese on a stick, and it's the first thing I go for every visit.
I'd love some calamari on a stick. That's some good stuff. Basically, if you put anything on a stick, it's better.
Right. Anything deep fried on a stick is generally you're gonna be a happy camper.
That should have been a good Midwest offering.
Anything on a stick.
Anything on a stick.
With ranch.
Hey, there's an idea for a food truck. Just call the truck anything on a stick.
With ranch.
There you
With
go.
ranch. With ranch. Brent's looking to go hardcore. He wants to leave the festival in an ambulance from eating so much.
Oh, jeez. Oh,
Well, I actually seen it happen. I was walking from Justice League towards the little walkway to get back to County Fair, and I seen it go up the incline right out of the tunnel, and then it went backwards. And I stood there for like a second, just kind of like looking at that, like trying to process what just happened. I'm like, did that really just roll back? And sure enough, I walked up, looked in the tunnel, and there it was stopped. Sarah, I know that your daughter was geeked out on it. Did she get some good photos?
She did. So she was on Raging Bull, and then I just casually mentioned it, and she's like, "What?" And then she just goes sprinting, fast walking. Now she has shin splits today and can't figure out why. But yeah, she got some pictures, and then she got some more like as she was watching it. It tested for a lot of Sunday, and then it had a line Sunday afternoon. Like everyone wanted to ride it all of a sudden. But yeah,
But you gotta remember these rides were not running last year, so they might go down a little more often in the spring right now until the sensors all get reset. And
Yeah.
I mean, they are electrical, and sensors go bad pretty easy, but they're there to protect us. Those sensors too. That's why it shuts them down where they shut them down at.
Yeah, this isn't a safety alarm at all. The fact that they were out there troubleshooting and trying to figure out, try to recreate and figure out that's shows that safety is a high priority.
Yep. On Sunday they were changing sensors on triple play and then riding right away again, and then mechanic back 10 minutes later changing another sensor. I mean, they're working on the stuff. I mean, stuff sat all year last year basically. So there's a lot of safety stuff that it's gonna shut this machine off right away for our safety.
Oh yeah, and things, like you said, things are going to happen. No one's been on these rides in a year. I mean, I'm surprised that we haven't seen Max Force roll back yet, where it doesn't quite make it up the. Is it dog ear or dog tongue? Dog tongue, right? That's the enthusiast term for the initial launch. I know somebody will probably correct me in the comments on which one it is, but I'm still waiting for that one.
I'm sure Gary will know. Gary, you have to know.
Yes, that first element is that the dog ear or the dog tongue. That is what we all want to know. Now, I will say this. I was in line for Max Force. It did go down. We were the group right before the ones who were in the station, the board. Maintenance came out. It was handled in 5 minutes, but they came out and I turned to them like, just hit it with a hammer. And 2 seconds later, they're on the back of the train and they're hitting something with a hammer. They hit it like 4 times and then they're like, okay, it's good to go. Okay, so Gary did come out and say it is the dog tongue. That's what I thought it was. So anything else anyone wants to bring up. I know. I mean, our main purpose of this was the Taste of Six
I
Flags,
think
but
I think in general, also, I think we didn't bring up that we just know from our own data, we didn't see a lot of complaints about food taking a long time, um, mobile order not working. Like, so the fact that we didn't hear a lot of that, either most of our junkies were at the food festival, or we saw improvement in food service.
I don't even question how many of us have eaten at JB's. JB's has this new barbecue burger. Now, me personally, I don't like barbecue, so I wouldn't want my barbecue on my burger. But every time we order it, there's no barbecue sauce on this burger. It's just a burger.
I think
So
they
is it a
always
barbecue burger or is it a burger?
I think they always had barbecue on their burgers. They maybe didn't call it a barbecue burger, but they always put barbecue sauce on the burger.
But these burgers have just been straight, same burger you get at Thrill Burger. No barbecue, nothing on it. 3 weekends in a row.
Maybe
And I
it's
always
because of
ask
the sauce
before I
shortage.
order because I don't want the barbecue on it.
I don't know. I thought it was my kids are weird, and they wanted the nachos with only cheese on it because they like the shredded cheese with the plastic cheese. But there was no option in the mobile order to take off sour cream, so then they got nachos with a little scoop of sour cream on it, which was a little weird. They could eat it around it, but it was just odd that all the ingredients weren't on there. Also, the quesadilla place, my buffalo chicken quesadilla, is supposed to have a $2 upcharge. However, they only accept mobile orders, and you cannot order something with upcharge on the mobile order. So we can't even get the interesting quesadillas with our meal passes right now at Fiesta Fries.
I'm glad you brought that up because I was just about to chime in with that. But yes, I wanted one of those quesadillas last visit, and it was like, oh, I can only get the cheese quesadilla. I'm like, I'm not getting just a plain old cheese quesadilla.
I want my buffalo chicken quesadilla because that's tasty, but you can only get cheese. So I'm wondering if they're like prepping all this chicken and no one's buying any of the other items because we cannot buy any upcharge item with our dining pass on the app. So if it's mobile order only, we just can't buy it. Yes, free the
quesadillas. Yes.
I really love to have my buffalo in 3 weeks after this food truck because I will be eating my jerk chicken for the next 2 weeks. But I would really like a buffalo chicken quesadilla, but there's no possible way to do that unless I pay out of pocket, and I'm kind of cheap.
Someone did put a good picture of the nachos over by JB's. I want to go try those again. They looked really good. I'm like, oh, I told her, I'm like, we got to go there.
They were, I met up with Bob there on Saturday, and they weren't that busy. They were getting lines through very quickly.
Yeah, and it was, I don't know what, it just seemed like freedom being able to walk up to the drink machine and actually get your own refill. And, just
all these little things that make life feel more normal are nice.
Now, I put Brittany's comment up here. I never tried anything in the water park last season that had an upcharge on it. Have you tried?
I stopped going to the water park. I stopped going. Like I would go in I stopped going to the water park towards the end. It just got too busy for me. But at the beginning of the season, it wasn't possible because there was something that I wanted that had an upcharge that we couldn't do. We had to actually walk up and order it. It's very possible that by the end of the summer that was changed.
They've kind of taken the Coca-Cola machines out temporarily.
They're on quarantine.
They are quarantined. They'll
That's a good
probably
one.
come back at some point.
But if you
Oh,
order at
Vita's
Aunt
that's
Martha's,
different.
you can fill your own cups at Aunt Martha's, though.
All right, Vita said that if you want the chicken quesadilla, you order the cheese quesadilla on the app, and they give you your order number. You can add chicken. But is
Did
she
they
going to get
upcharge you though,
not
Vita? Did
charging
they?
us? Because we're supposed to pay the. I mean, I don't want to get anyone in trouble and take something that I I take responsibility for having add topping now with ice cream, because last year I would order um a root beer float, no, root beer substitute strawberry sauce, and it wasn't an add topping, and they were doing it, but then now it's you can do it and you have to add the topping, which is fine. I don't want to get anyone in trouble though for adding a topping or adding something that they're not supposed to do without charging, because there's a reason that they charge these upcharges. So I would have guilt.
Just let's get the epic so we can all get our upcharges. I mean, there's things
Yeah.
I guarantee. Just us alone, we definitely be taking advantage of some of those upcharge items. Quesadillas.
Oh, I'd be getting that I walked over to get the buffalo chicken quesadilla and then realized I couldn't get it without paying, and I'd already dropped quite a bit on food. I have plenty of punches left, but I didn't feel like spending more money.
My friend ordered the whatever that is in JB's that has the upcharge for $2. It's a burger with an onion rings and coleslaw, but they never charged him the $2 upcharge.
A couple food items we haven't been able to try yet because the restaurants haven't been open. Like the Nashville hot chicken sandwich, that stand hasn't been open yet. That's on my list to try.
The Go Fresh in the food court supposed to have that BLT. I think on.
Yeah.
Brittany just commented about the funnel cake Sunday upcharge.
Yeah, well, I can get why it'd be really difficult to mobile order funnel cakes. I mean, I know they were doing them in the summer, but I think that'd be so difficult because you have to make it to order, and then the ice cream, and then I can't imagine how many would be melted. But they were charging the upcharge. We went yesterday. We pretty much only get like the whole Sunday once a year. So that was what we did. When I paid 88 cents for 2 funnel cakes, which I do not even know how that happened. But they were charging people the upcharge. Texas Toast BLT.
Yes, that's what I was trying to get at. I knew it was a BLT on. I wasn't sure if it was like a garlic bread, but it is Texas Toast.
Interesting.
And yes, Brittany, you do need to be nearby when you mobile order to have that prepared, so you can't be on the other side of the park.
There's a glitch. Like some people I know have put in an order for later time, or put in an order when they're far away and not hit prepare their order, and then they're on the opposite side of the park and they get a notification that their order's ready. So it doesn't mean that I think they see all the orders come up on their iPad and they're not checking the times. It's probably really difficult to read, or it doesn't even show up there. So there is a glitch with it. I thought the funnel cake line moved very quickly yesterday. That's generally why we only have like one Sunday a year, is because the line's always long, but it wasn't bad. Brent's still waiting for his order.
He's still waiting. He is still waiting. Maybe by the end of the season, you might get your burger, Brent.
Yeah, and as Gary's putting in, some of them say that you have to be nearby, but I've been getting that prepare my order. And maybe it depends on what kind of phone or what kind of signal you get, but I get my prepare order button anywhere.
For Aunt Martha's, I had the prepare order button right at the carousel.
Worker told me they don't see the pickup time. Good to know.
But But when I was at ordered Throw Burger, I had to get within a couple minutes away from the Throw Burger to prepare to order.
Yeah, I'm getting the prepare my order button anywhere for any. I've not had to get that close at all. It's that 5G that my Bill Gates jab gave me.
Speaking of apps on Laura's phone, finally yesterday the button actually is back on her Android that she can click to get ride check-ins. It's been missing for a while. Jamie, did yours come back?
Yeah, we had and I've been able to check in for all year, but the points were going to other people, but I wasn't getting the points. But as of Saturday, I started getting ride points again.
Maybe Owen's been getting your points. My son just gets random points, and now he won't. Someone will go on and like take all the points away, because that's the luck I had. No, he I have to keep track of it. I don't know how it happens. And there's nothing that shows points have been added. He just he'll get random points added, and we don't know how. He must get Rich's points.
Yeah, I had a weird thing happen with the ride check-in points on Saturday. I had my parents were along, Laura and I was doing the check-ins because Laura couldn't do it because she didn't have the button. We went and checked points. I received the points. Laura got the points. My dad got the points. My mom didn't get the points.
Yeah, there's been issues all year with that. It's just it's another glitch in that system. And
Pick a lucky winner.
I'm sure they're working on it, but it's just they got a lot to fix the computer systems.
And it's not just our part, because you had it in St. Louis, right, Rich?
Yep, yeah. St. Louis was giving it to all the kids in our group, but none of the adults would get the ride points.
Brent's asking on Flash Pass. I don't think they do.
In fact, I haven't heard of any of the other parks even having the one-day QR code yet. We did see in, what was it, Six Flags Over Texas, they did bring back the trade in your skip the lines. And it used to be at our park, it was $15 if you traded in your skip the lines to get a regular Flash Pass. In Texas, it's $20 to get a bronze, which is what used to be the regular, or I think there was something else that got you platinum for the day. I wonder if you could use a QR code if you do it that way then.
I think it is on the single day purchase. I think you do get the code that QR code that can be used on the phone. It's just the season long ones that you still need the wristband.
We haven't confirmed that you can trade in skip the lines at our park for a one-day Flash Pass plus money. But you can always ask.
Yeah, we've seen it. Like I said, we've seen it. It's being done in one of the Texas parks because what Sarah's referring to, we've seen in one of the Texas groups. Somebody
and I've done it at our park. I did it in our park in 2019 when we had a family with us. We got a Flash Pass enough for all the kids in the group and kind of let the kids go wild. Something with a glitch on the photo pass. I don't have photo pass yet. Is it?
A lot of the cameras are not working right on the rides either. Like Dark Knight is only half the cameras are working, so it's hard to even get your photos.
I will have to get a photo pass so I don't think any of us have one right now, do we?
No, we didn't get ours yet. We usually get one.
But I think it's just better to go on the website than to do it through the app. Everyone, like for me, the app is just best suited for in-park use versus making reservations or parking reservations or whatever. The app is more built for in-park use, not, got to use the websites for everything else.
I would agree. I think even reservations are much easier on the website. Yeah.
Yeah, you notice the anytime you guys are posting questions asking, well, how do I make reservations for Hurricane Harbor? That's kind of the big one. When I reply, I'm always going to say, I'm going to give you the link. I'm never going to tell you go in and use the app. I don't trust it. Like Jamie said, it's great when you're in park, but when you're not in the park, I do everything from the web browser. Not saying necessarily be on the computer, but all your smartphones have browsers on it. Just launch the Six Flags page in your browser and do what you have to do.
And so there's a lot of talk about being able to make reservations past July 4th if you use the app. So I went in there today and it'll allow me to pick July 4th as a date, or July 9th, July 10th, whatever. It'll say make a reservation. It tells me to select my people, tells me to select my time. And then I panicked because like all the reservations are gone until like noon already. And I was like, wait, I didn't even know this was a date I could pick. But then I noticed on the bottom, on the date, it pushes me back to May 14th. So I'm not sure that it's really making reservations past July 4th like everyone thinks it is.
Oh, interesting. And then somebody else noticed that they were limited to 10 order numbers per pass.
I haven't had that issue.
Yeah, I know it's limits 10 tickets per order. I mean, I don't think I have anywhere close to 10 order numbers. I haven't even got to. Yeah, that's really, I wonder if that's artificially what's taking away some of, maybe it's Junkies artificially taking away some of these May dates.
Try it later. You'll see. I mean, it always pushed me back to the first open date, which right now is May 14th.
That's because they want everybody to come on Brent's birthday. Jeez. Did you get that? Oh, Bob, you're muted. Bob, you're muted. There. Oh, there you go.
There we go. No, what I'm saying is, just don't tell Brent there's a huge birthday celebration at the park.
Will it involve foam?
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Be great to have the foam party come back. Maybe 4th of July.
All right.
Anybody else on the team here have anything else you want to discuss, bring up, speak now, or forever hold your peace until we do this again? It looks like Dr. Six there is like falling into a trance, just looking off into the...
That's because he's watching that Daegu.
My parking lot here. I don't actually live in my car. I just have two girls who dance all the time. So you get me from the dance studio. That's
okay. One of these times I'm going to be, once I'm able to travel again for work, I might be doing these from, the beach out in California or something. Just laptop sitting in the sand. Like, yeah, we'll go live.
With half the drinks that you show us all the time that are bigger than your head.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Nice.
Yes, the drinks are they're usually large drinks when you're near the ocean and beach. It's beach life.
Well, I'm going to keep out there. No one has found me yet, so I
found you. You're right there.
Bonus punch card and I should be in the park this weekend. I don't know what times, but if you see me and you're the first one, I'm still offering that punch card.
But she doesn't have any of the new swag either for the Junkies yet, because nobody could find her either from the Junkies team.
Has anyone?
I wasn't there last weekend. We had a dance competition.
Has anyone seen issues with the comp tickets in terms of making reservations?
I haven't tried yet.
Ticket or 1-day ticket?
The comp ticket that I think that they were giving away at the end of the night.
But like there's two options. You can go to 1-day ticket, which I think prompts you to buy a ticket, but you should be able to go to existing ticket and enter in the number.
And put the number in.
If you're already a season pass or member, you can include them in your reservation. a comp
Or if you're
ticket.
not planning on going that day, just making one for them.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't tried with the comp ticket yet.
And for you, Cabana people
Yeah,
out there,
Brent, in order to use your discount, it has to be day of on site. In order to use, so Diamond Elite gets a 30% discount. It's day of on site. You can't get the discount online. So they
What
are
we
first.
found is that they don't rent all 10 out. They leave like 2 or 3 open for day of reservations. So whenever we have planned to do that, we just make sure we're one of the first people in the park and go straight for the cabana.
All right, and I've never had a hard time getting cabana on a weekday. Being there right at open. And if you're using points, it has to be a weekday and it has to be day of, right? You can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice getting a cabana for free.
I know, but it doesn't come with the perks it used to come with. Like a
No, it
cabana
doesn't.
used to come with complimentary DC superhero or supervillain towels. You used to get 2 20-ounce Coke product drinks for everyone in the cabana up to like, was it 6? And then you got your tubes for everybody. So it used to be very, not all inclusive because there's no meals, but it used to be really special. And they took the towels out in 2019. Then they took the drinks out last year, right?
I think so.
You could buy a drink package with it. So, and I think I hope the tubes are still a part of it, but it was really sad when the cabanas got stripped down. It's nice to have the space. I used to like the perks too.
and Mike, in terms of trying to grab a different reservation, if you're a member or pass holder, just use a different one of your other passes or membership numbers to reserve and cancel.
You can make
He's
a
asking-
reservation with the same pass number for 2 different times in the day. I tried it today and it worked. I used my membership and I got on the same day I got 2 different reservation times.
No, I know what he's asking. So yes. So there's a different pool. There are 2 different pools of reservation availability. It's similar to how Disney, if you have an annual pass, it's hard to find a reservation for the park. But if you are staying on property, you can automatically get one magically. So anyone who pays for the ticket is pretty much guaranteed to find a time on Six Flags. That's a different pool. A complimentary or existing ticket isn't part of that pool, as far as I can gather. I think it's when you buy. So if you click, I need a 1-day admission and you're buying it online, you actually are completing the purchase and they're giving you a reservation date and time because you're buying your ticket for that day. That's one pool, but using a Read to Succeed ticket or a complimentary ticket, I believe that's still part of the existing ticket holder pool. I could be very wrong. I could be very wrong. But that's my guess.
He said thank you.
All right.
But I just got to show this. I know it's kind of up to you if you want to put her in the cabana or put her in the trunk, Brent.
The Queen Cabana is in a better location. But I guess if she can't walk, the King Cabana is less walking to get to. The Queen Cabana is in a better location in general. Would you agree, Jamie?
Yeah, I definitely agree. And it would kind of, for Brent's situation, walking all the way to the Queen and having to go through all the people at the food court, or not the food court, but the wave pool, and fighting all the people in the membership area right there to get to the cabana might be a little more difficult.
Yeah. Okay, if I have a membership, no. But that being said, we do not know anyone who has really wanted to go to the park for a day that hasn't been able to go. Because if you go the day of and you hit refresh a few times or you post on our reservation thread, something is going to come up. And we also, again, we are expecting capacity numbers in Illinois. I can't speak to what the park does, but in Illinois, we're expecting capacity limits to increase on Friday, right?
Yes, on Friday. And with that said, though, what everyone does need to keep in mind, yes, the state of Illinois is going to up capacity limits. They've actually came out and said theme parks can be 60%. What we have to remember is Six Flags is private property. So it's sort of up to them if they're going to go up to 60 or if they're going to gradually make their way up to 60.
And
I don't see it.
They'll never tell us. Honestly, they'll never tell us as the general public. They'll never tell us what the percentage, they'll never tell us what the number is. We'll just magically see more reservations.
They may maybe just move it just a little bit every time because it seems to be under control though too. Like the food lines, like we were saying, aren't extremely long and we're not having so many complaints with that, you know. Maybe they're just trying to do it just to work out a lot of the kinks too before they really massively go huge. You never know.
Just like we did with the water park, we saw that first day that we were all there, it was empty, and by the end of the season, I mean they learn and they take their data, and they don't have years worth of data for this. This is new for them too. They take their data, figure out about how many no-shows they might get, and they make adjustments. So who knows? I really think that anyone who has wanted a reservation has been able to make it in. Probably not as early as they want to in the day, but I don't know of anyone who hasn't been able to.
But remember when you
go
ahead.
No, you can go.
I was just going to say, remember they're checking reservations again when you go in. And we've had people standing there. People weren't to their time yet, and they were actually standing there waiting to get in. They wouldn't let them in.
It's made the park altogether much more pleasant. And so I think we do need to give a shout out to the security team. And I also want to say that the security team, kind of having gathered a little bit about some of the changes in management, has an air of some good hospitality as well. It's anyone I've come across, there's so many like, thank you for coming, welcome, we're glad you're here. And those little touches, it just makes it a place where we're happy to be there, and it makes us feel good to go to Six Flags. So the security team just very kind, saying thank you, keep walking, or can I please see your reservation? It's been very pleasant.
Yes.
And also remember, if you are asking for reservations on our page, we do have a dedicated post for that. Now that our contest is over, we'll go ahead and try to get that pinned up to the top, and I did get that season pass taken care of today.
We have matched. Quite a few people have matched and found reservations that way. So it's worth. I mean, if somebody doesn't say something right away, just comment again. Still looking for reservations for, because sometimes some of us will just be on and we'll go find them.
Yeah, I periodically check, especially like Fridays, knowing that Saturday's coming up. And I've made posts when I see them. If I see it, I'll post out there saying, "Hey, there's reservations." I mean, it could be one. I mean, I know people who've tried to grab a reservation and they got beat to the checkout by another person. So just keep trying. They generally will open up.
Yeah, and I think even like the day of, the park can throw more reservations up anytime they want. So they know how many people are in. They know how many people they can accommodate. They can throw. That was one of the things that I remember hearing in one of the WGN segments with the park president, that it's kind of our park controls the gateway of those reservations. So it's nice.
I think this weekend too might have been nicer. I want to remind everyone, just still keep your patience as the park gets more crowded, because I think this weekend a lot of people shied away with the colder temperatures and Sunday calling for so much rain, even though it didn't rain, that a lot of people just stayed home, even
Yeah.
though they had reservations. So maybe this coming weekend it's supposed to be nicer. Those food lines may be long again, but just give it time.
Yeah. Well, and we're potentially moving a phase, which we don't know if that changes or how that changes. We're going to have a nice weekend. There are a lot of variables that we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. So
Yeah, in the next week or so, on your way into the park, if you're in a long line trying to get to the toll plaza, you can take a look at the dinosaur
they're so bad.
event that that we can kind of get a full peek of these dinosaurs as opposed to paying the $50 price to kind of drive through there.
To
And I
drive
don't
through a
believe
bunch of prehistoric yellow cones, orange.
yes.
I was surprised there wasn't like a fence put up there. I don't know. That is not a park. I mean, I'm sure they're just offering the land. It's not something that we can use our season passes with. But I don't understand $50. I really don't.
No, especially after driving past what the event is. I mean, it's not like they're going to turn it into some jungle safari where where you're not seeing. I think you're just going to be following cones and stopping by these animatronic dinosaurs.
Didn't you say it was supposed to be a 45-minute tour? How is that back lot 45 minutes?
That's what I was trying to figure out too.
Okay, so that is a big back lot, because anyone who's done a 5K there, they make you run the whole back lot. But I think like 25 of those minutes is going to be going through that maze of cones that are laid out. So that's probably it. It's just the traffic making it take long. I'm hoping that traffic is going to enter and exit from Washington for that. Okay. Nice. But yeah, I can pretty much see it, and I'm like, oh, there's some dinosaur shaped objects. Cool. And a lot of cones.
Well, Brittany said she did one of those before, and it's kind of like car on car. So I'm kind of imagining this being like bumper to bumper as you're going through.
Not my vibe.
Nope.
And it doesn't come with Marcus Marshmallow, so it's already is at a disadvantage.
All right. Does anybody else have anything else before we can wrap this up?
I see there's a
All right.
comment that Brent wants, they need that thread posted because he wants more people for his birthday.
We'll do a Junkies takeover on the ride of Brent's choice.
There we go.
And then lunch at Club 76.
Yes, we'll give you. We'll let you rent out Club 76 in the park.
We shouldn't say that in case there's a picnic that day.
And in the event of a picnic, we will let you use just
the clubhouse.
The clubhouse, the actual clubhouse.
If you can find it.
Right. The trick is finding it. He says, yes, Club 76, I'm there. Now, I'm sure, we could probably all pool our money and, buy sponsorship on the actual clubhouse, but I'm sure that's going to cost quite a penny.
Yeah.
Well, we can actually open the other side and do like a food thing on the other side.
Maybe we'll just leave some carrot juice in the clubhouse this week.
Yes. I think we should. We should start leaving things in the clubhouse for other members to find. But the fun part's going to be trying to figure out where the clubhouse is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to do another live from the clubhouse.
Yep. Yeah, I heard if you're really looking
That's what I
for
was going to
Junkies,
say. I did a whole live from the clubhouse for a whole 2 hours and not one soul found me.
Well, wasn't it like below zero too that you're out there going live from the
Yeah.
clubhouse? So
But I was offering a free present that is now on my refrigerator.
Oh, I didn't post in the group yet. There is a second location for bargain basement apparel and accessories when it's open across from Kidsopolis, that little store that's barely ever open. It is full of bargains. So $2. If you have Diamond Elite, it means like $2.50 t-shirts. They had photo frames there. They had different kinds of drink bottles and coffee mugs, and there's a lot of stuff there. I don't know how often they open that. That's one of the last places to open anyway. But if you've already looked through and picked through the Emporium to get your, I didn't see any more hoodies, so I think all the junkies went and bought the $2.50 hoodies. But if you've already gone through and picked out your $5 or $2.50, if you have Diamond Elite hoodies there and your t-shirts, head over by Kidsopolis at that little stand that used to be where they would sell the Wiggles merchandise. And there are more bargains there.
did not know that.
I didn't
The only
post
clubhouse
it. I took a
I know is
picture.
Mickey's.
We have a
It's
clubhouse.
Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Our clubhouse is it's oh, can I give a clue?
You can.
Like
You're muted.
it's waterfront property.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good one.
Yeah, and I've also heard that if you're really desperate to get a Junkies pin, if you take a dive, you might find some in there because somebody from this group was trying to attach a couple pins to a light fixture 2019, and they kind of fell off and went into the water.
Well, lucky enough, the person didn't go into the water.
Yes, lucky enough.
I think we're at an hour 33. I don't
We are.
think we're
I
good.
think we're wasted.
I think we are good. Yes, I think for this episode, I think we are good. So, thanks for tuning in to us to talk about the taste of Six Flags, and then along with other miscellaneous items. Anybody else have any last minute closing comment before we say goodbye here?
Come see the band. That was a good band. Sorry, I like their band.
And the band singer used to be in Love at First Fright and a street actor.
Yep.
So it came full circle for him.
Nice. I hope someone finds me.
Yes, try to find Sarah. Again, you need the big one you guys need to find is you need to find Chris. Chris loves when you walk up to him and ask for merchandise. So just say, Chris, I need a pin. Chris, I need a bracelet. And he's got like, a million pins on him and I think like, 1,000 bracelets. So he is the go-to guy that you want to find.
I have no
Oh.
pins or bracelets, so I just.
Well,
have
we haven't found you yet to give you
We haven't
bracelets.
found you. No one can find you, Sarah. I will say this, I am down to 6 pins. So when I am in the park, there's 6 more lucky people who can find me, and I'm no longer going to advertise them in the park. Maybe I need to actually say I'm in the park, because this past weekend, I had more people find me and stop me than when I actually announced, hey, I'm in the park, come up, if you're looking for a pin, say hi. I didn't say a word, I had more people find me.
We're thinking of a pin design 2.0 at some point, so we may have.
Yes, the
we may
second
have
edition.
We're coming up on what, 4,000? We're eyeing 4,000.
Right, we're just shy right now of 3,300.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say when I last looked, we were probably about 6 off of hitting 3,300.
I just did a whole bunch of them that just came through today while we've been on.
Okay,
So-
so we're growing as we speak. Who knows? By the time we get done, we might be at 5,000 people. Who knows?
All right.
All right. Before we're starting to get slap happy here, so before
Yeah.
before this really goes off the rails, thanks for tuning in, and we'll be doing another broadcast down the road. Bye.
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 Bye.